communication. See, I don't run away from the park and places in the hood. I don't run away from that because this is where I grew up at. And if I can't give back right now, then what do I stand for? This is what it's about. You know, we can talk real good and we can make it sound all nice, but the thing is, are you actually going to go say, hey man, come here, bring yourself over here? Or are you afraid? These guys respect you more than what you think they do. And what it is they need the guidance and not you to put them down, but to lift them up so they can feel like they mean something.
To his point, to the brothers on the panel, because I do want to make sure that we honor your time, one of the things that he's talking about is people. I think that there are people in the community that can be advocates, but some of them need to be trained too. How many of you all, especially the brothers on the panel, the two of you that are on the panel, know how folks who want to be engaged in places can be trained to, and that you can find the right place for them to be? Because some people don't need to talk to nobody, right? Some people need to help do paperwork. They don't need to speak to nobody. And I'm serious. If you know you nasty and you evil, but you want to help, don't talk to nobody. Do some administrative work, do the books, do something, pray, something. But don't talk to nobody, please. Some of y'all, stop talking to people. But for those people that do have that in them and they want to be trained, where are the places that they can go to get that kind of training to be able to be more involved in places that maybe they just don't know how to?
Well, for me, I just recently relocated back here. So I know one of the places that they can be trained is to come up here soon up to St. Luke Methodist Church, because I will be doing some training, parenting skills, different things of that magnitude, bringing it back. Because it's a blessing to come back home and give back. I know Brother Chris Go. He was the man in this place. I mean, he was like Turbo up in this place, man, doing his thing. Flashbacks. But I think we have to get with some of our community leaders. I know in the city, in Texas, you know, we could go to school boards. They often, you know, skills training for like job, dress for success, things like that. So these are the things that we need to bring to the community so that these young people can be trained. Real fast, I want to address, like you say, these are Mac scholars up here, and I want to address the fact that, you know, one of the most phobias that people have is public speaking. And so when he talks about being trained, I just want to know, like he said, who's training these young ladies? Because these young ladies should be able to speak with a little bit more confidence up here. You know what I mean? Now we got the president. Now this is the Mac Scholar president that is stumbling on her words and that doesn't have the confidence to speak about what it is. So brother, like you say, it's not just about, you know, the fact that the school board, you know, training. We need everybody to train, because communication rules the nation. So this young lady shouldn't have to be afraid to stand up here and represent her clique. The MAC program, okay? So whoever's training this young lady, train her to have confidence to speak about what it is that she got to talk about.
Do you mind if I hold the mic? They hold the mic. I should get one of them on third. Over there. I like to stand up when I talk. Okay, everybody here, you know, they know me as Diamond, Uncle Diamond. Diamond is Brother Diamond. I'm family to everybody. I'm from St. Louis. I'm from the streets of St. Louis. The hardest side you can ever be raised on, you know. I'm 34 years old. You know, I don't look a day of it, but I'm 34 years old. And, you know, my son is 17, be 17 June 14th. You know what I'm saying? I was blessed by God to speak lyrically, song, rhythm, you know, and we sit up here, we out here parents, we're not the blueprint, but we're part of the blueprint. You see what I'm saying? We're part of the blueprint. And by us being part of the blueprint, if we cannot teach our kids the blueprint, how can they ever build anything? You know, I got a label called PME, Power Movement Entertainment. And this young lady back here was saying that they need stuff to do. Well, I grew up at, if anybody from St. Louis, you know, Saints, Palace, you know, Skate King, places of that matter. You know what I'm saying? Where kids can come, they can listen to their music, they can go and buy refreshments, they can be talked to by mentors that's been in problems, that's been in the streets. I want on the floor security. I've been talking to Columbia PD to do some security for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not a goody two shoes, but I've been in jail and I've been watching the TV, and the kids, it's more kids in Boone County Jail than it is grown-ups. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad. Real sad. They younger than my son. They're sad. I'm calling a roll call. This is what this is. It's called the roll call. Calling all high schools, all high school kids. I'm out here every day barbecuing hot dogs. You know, trying to get some money built up, scraped up for these kids, so I can rent a building out for them, so they can get on in their 7-Eleven, get them off the streets. You know what I'm saying? Then after I'm done, police. I ain't trying to tell on nobody parent, but y'all write a curfew ticket. Get their ass in the house.
All right.
You feel me?
All right.
Straight up.
that's
I'm
right.
done with them, get them in the house.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. If anybody got funds, if anybody got any money anywhere, if you feel for these kids, y'all talk about they gangsters, it's the radio, it's the television. We got access to all that here in Columbia. Why we not on it? We got children out here rapping every day up and down this street, all over the bridge. Why they not on it? I got a whole label, a whole studio for anybody. I'm begging the kids every day. You don't want to rap. You say you want to rap. They don't want to rap. They want to fight. First, fight that demon inside you. And if you can whoop him, then holler at me.
Yeah. All right.
Let me say this, because I've been told that we don't have any more time. Please know, I know that please know that this is. Let me say this before I hand it over. The passion of the brother that just spoke, to me, is so often what's missing. And a lot of times we don't know how to process the emotion that's connected to it. I'm excited for what y'all have here, because you got a bunch of different folks that come from different realities willing to do the same thing. And you don't always have that. And so what I would ask is, for those of you that are willing to invest in some of the people that stood up and started talking. Don't clap when you hear them be passionate, and then turn around when you know you got $20, $30, $40 that you can support what they're doing and help be able to provide some additional resources. So let's do this. A lot of you all had the ability to talk. This panel was here to be able to provide their insight. Let's give them a round of applause for their willingness to come forward and participate, and simultaneously thank all of you all that participated in this discussion. Thank you all so much, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of the discussion.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our panelists and for Jeff Johnson. Oh, come on now, give it up. Now, we told you we had a power-packed day, and that day is not over. Now, before I tell you what we're going to do for the rest of the day, know this, we've said it before, this is not a one-day movement. This is not a one-day initiative. So please make sure that you're registered, make sure that you're plugged in, so our next steps can be communicated to you, so that you can get involved. Everyone that has talked today, we've got so many different things going on in Columbia. We've got the United Way, we've got Boys and Girls Club, we've got Columbia Public Schools, we've got the guy that just talked that says he has a studio, and everyone has things going on. In order for us to coordinate those efforts and get a unified message out, we've all got to be plugged into the same outlet. And that outlet is the Silence the Violence movement. You can connect on Facebook. You can connect by Twitter. On Facebook, tag us, friend us, like us. We are Columbia Community Nonviolence Initiative. Columbia Community Nonviolence Initiative. And on Twitter, it's at STV Columbia. At STV Columbia. So make sure that you're plugged in.
because today is not the end, it is but the beginning. So give yourselves a hand for being here on today. Give yourselves a hand. Give it up. Hey, I know you still have some energy. Ash may have taken a little bit out of you, but it didn't wreck you, right? All right, all right, all right. So the next thing that we have is in the gymnasium inside of Douglas High School here. There are lots of organizations that have set up booths. At those booths are information, opportunity. So please go in and visit the booths. Some of those booths, some of those organizations have jobs and they're looking for people to work in those jobs. Some of those booths have structured activities for you, for me, for our kids during the summer and the school year. Make sure that you go inside and visit the booths. Follow this, it's not the yellow brick road, but follow the concrete sidewalk all the way around. There's some hot dogs in there, and there are also booths in there. Now, what we just did was not the end. We have some breakout sessions for all of those people who are very interested in talking specifically about different topics. There's a substance abuse versus violence that will be held in room 240 at 1 o'clock. The following breakout sessions are at 1 o'clock. They're from 1 to 1:50. Substance abuse versus violence, room 240. Raising leaders, room 114. Gangs, state work, room 135. And at 2 o'clock, the second round of breakout sessions are street life, room 114, where we're going to be talking about how you transition from living the life, living that life, you know that life I'm talking about, living that life, to getting yourself out of that. We're going to be talking about that in room 114 at 2 o'clock. Breakout session, during the second breakout session, we're also going to be having one for safe sex. Amanta Harris, room 240. And common sense parenting. Now there's parenting, and then there's common sense parenting. I know some of you guys know some people who deal in just the other parenting, but there is some common sense parenting. And we're going to be talking about that in room 135. So please join us. The first round of breakout sessions are at 1 o'clock in rooms 240, room 114, and room 135. If you have any questions, please see someone in a gray shirt that says volunteer, and then we can direct you there. And there's also food inside, hot dogs, chips, soda. So, one moment.
Real quickly, my sister over here made a great point, and she said it's not a lot of white people here. And why are there not a lot of white people here, and where are the people from the university? And I think that the point that she made was a good one, and I didn't want us to just walk away without addressing it. It's not about creating more of a racial issue, but it is about how do you begin to create partnerships with people that traditionally you haven't. And we all know that a lot of times we're afraid of who we don't know. And instead of demonizing people that are afraid of what they don't know, let's open the door. And so I know that she and some others, the few sprinkles of salt within this sea of pepper, they're here because they care. And if we can begin to create times and space, whether it's church to church, or whether it's organization to organization, or person to person, so I ask that you talk to her or grab the other friendly white person that's near you, and seriously, talk about how you can go worship at their church and ask them to come worship at yours. Talk about how you can go to some of their meetings and invite them to theirs. The only way this changes is when we make connections with each other as people. And as we make connections with each other as people, trust is built. And as trust is built, so is communication and relationships. So I thank you so much for mentioning that to me, so that we can just continue to have these things in our mind as some of us move forward and figure out the role that we want to play. Thank you.
Before we go, I don't want everybody to get down, so I need another silence to violence. Get it, wake up. Can I get that? Silence the violence. Silence the violence. That's what I'm talking about. Motivate me.
Hey, and to piggyback on what the brother just said about getting together, I want you guys to walk away from here with two words that have been the most devastating to our community and the world today. Two words, remember these two words. These are two words that I learned first in psychology. Divide, let me hear everybody say divide, divide, and conquer. Divide and conquer. See what happened, everybody? We're getting division in between us, so that's why we're getting conquered by the devil. That's why we continue to do the devilish things, because we get divided. So let's stop being divided so we can stop being conquered.
All right, everyone, so listen, before we proceed into the gymnasium so that everyone can see the booths that have been set up to visit the organizations, this movement is not about just a march today. It is about completely educating, empowering people on how to silence the violence, how to stop. You guys came from all around Columbia today. All different neighborhoods, all different levels of socioeconomic, all different people. We are all Colombians, and we are all committed to silencing the violence here in our city and our state. Please join us in the gymnasium to visit these organizations that have been wonderful in setting up to bring opportunities and information to us. Also, there are refreshments inside. The first round of breakout sessions are starting at 1 o'clock, substance abuse versus violence in room 135. Raising leaders, room 114. That's it for the 1 o'clock sessions. Substance abuse versus violence, that's room 135, and raising leaders in room 114. At 2 o'clock, the second round of breakout sessions. Street life in room 114. It's not how to get into it, how to get out of it. Common sense parenting in room 135, and safer sex in room 240. And remember, everyone, there will be a strategy and coordination meeting on Tuesday at the Armory at 7 p.m. If you want to be involved beyond today, the strategy session will be at 7 o'clock Tuesday at the Armory, so that we can continue to silence the violence. Silence the violence. Silence the violence. Silence the violence. Silence the violence.
What's up, Teddy? What's up, you? Yeah. We like to doing things, big things. Just trying to do something, man, to get back to this community, man. You move back home? Yeah, back just home. Minute, man. Yeah. Going back to Texas? Yeah, she's sick, man. Thought everybody said, where she at? She at home? Or? Yeah, she's yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. You want to speak? Want something? You got something you want to say? Something positive? Don't freeze up. Just say anything you want to say. What's your name?
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne. You come to support the Stop the Violence? It's a good thing, ain't it?
Yeah.
You know anybody that happened to be in that incident? Or what grade you in?
6th.
6th grade? What school you go to?
Gentry Middle School.
Gentry Middle School.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing you're here to support the violence. Say hi to your family or anything. Be good. Is that all you want to say? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Have a good day.
So what do you
What the silence the violence means to you?
Silence the violence means to me is to stop the violence.
To me it means that we stop fighting. We just stop participating in fights. We stop going to go see who beefing, who doing all of this.
No instigate.
Right. No instigate. Just
stop the violence. It's not necessary.
Silence the violence. No gossiping, no hating, no instigating, no jealousy. Just be loving.
Just loving.
What's that man name? Just like that man said, you ain't gotta like nobody, but you still have to love them. So whenever you have a problem with somebody, just think about the love you show towards them. Yeah.
Hey, what about you, Pastor?
Okay.
Come on. Get in.
I ain't about that life.
She said no more violence. Enough.
No more violence. Enough is enough. That's
Enough.
Silence the violence means to me that. Okay, I gotta look at the thing. Okay, silence the violence means to me that we all can be loving and hang out and be as friends and be as one. Because if you look at our schools together, we fought so that we could be together. And so now that we are, we shouldn't be fighting each other. And for what? Because like people in Haiti and stuff, they're dying off because they don't got nothing. But we trying to kill our own. What is that? That's dumb.
Right.
Like what sense does that make?
Hey.
Academy Award, I know.
See how we all just laughing and just being fun, just coming together. This is what we really need. We don't need to fight. There is no sense in it. So we should just have fun and just be together.
Y'all have any suggestions on stuff that they could do or which I would like to do around this community or
They could be
Dance
involved.
stuff for dance off,
Yeah,
talent shows,
talent
talent shows, all that.
Columbia is all based on college. They forget about high school. The high school is out here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it'd be fun to acknowledge.
They're more involved. The Boys and Girls Club is for the little kids.
I need something it's either the young people they got in Columbia that it's all about the young people, or it skips us and it goes to the college. They keep forgetting about the high schoolers, but then they wonder why we getting shut up.
so y'all saying talent shows and
Dance
Oh, I could do a talent because you know I'm talented.
double dutch competition.
Even if you aren't talented,
Kill it.
even if
Game
you aren't
show.
talented, we should have things for us to do.
so that was a good idea what he was saying. One of the gentlemen was talking about the game, have a game off with the Xbox. And
Yeah, like every Friday or something, that would be nice.
That's something that appeals to us, not
y'all
just the
familiar with the
college
Armory?
kids.
Do y'all familiar with the Armory, or
Yeah.
y'all think that's a good spot for that, or?
Yeah.
I used to play volleyball there. I think they should have somewhere more open. I mean, the Armory is great, but somewhere like
More local.
somewhere
That's
out
what's
bigger.
up.
You know, we have to get outside.
They was talking about the art. Doing
Yeah,
stuff
the
out
art
there.
has become very popular. And it's a great place, giving us stuff to do.
It should actually be restricted for the teenagers.
Yeah.
Well, that's us. That's what's up, y'all. That's a good thing. And y'all want to say your names, say hi to mom or anything?
Dad.
OJHS, we
Everybody
see you. We hope to see you.
No, I'm Daisha.
Y'all rep,
The violence.
so y'all repping y'all school?
Hold up. Okay.
Your
I'm
name is,
Daisha.
okay, we're gonna say
I'm
something
Daisha
about
Monet
what?
Dennis. I go to OJHS. Oaktown.
I'm Daisha Alexander from Hickman High. My name is Montiera Jean Bell Nelson. Oh, that's a long name. I'm from Oakland Junior High.
My name is Sadidra Hayes. I'm from Oakland.
Hickman High School. Okay. My name is Tasha Pryor, and I go to a Columbia Public School.
I'm downtown and I go to Missouri.
You go to Mizzou. Oh,
I'm Shanice Brown and I go to Hickman High School. And I'm graduating this year.
okay. That's what's up.
Okay.
So can I get all y'all at one time to say?
Silence the violence!
Thank you. What is this pertaining to? Excuse me, sir.
Oh, Sun City Youth Academy. This year is the first time that we're working with Columbia Public Schools. It's for kids ages 5 through 14, and it's an 8-week program. And it's from 8 to 5, and in the morning, Columbia Public Schools are going to be teaching. And they're going to be going to like the pool, museums, and stuff like that. They might even visit the Jazz Museum in Kansas City to learn more about African American heritage. And this year we're only allowed to take 100 people, and we're not able to provide transportation, but it's going to be here at Douglas High School. So we just really encourage like parents to enroll their kids in if they have a chance. And then there is a fee, but it's a sliding scale fee. So most parents will be eligible for a MBFS subsidy if possible. Basically, we have the application right for them to fill out and stuff like that. No, where did you see necklaces at? I don't know, but if you go to this table right here, they might know. Okay. Around talking to all the other tables about what's going on in the plans and stuff like that. But it's going to be a really good program. Like, during this academic school year, we have the Saturday Academy where kids come and they do like poetry, math, and stuff like that. Because we know that like the African American children, like with the low income and stuff like that, they have a hard time retaining information. So the Summer Academy and the Saturday Academy is used to help them retain information so that they can get more. And actually kids who have been in the program, their test scores have went up. So we're really proud about that, and our focus is just the kids.
That's good. That's good.
My name is Chastity Allen. I'm a marketing intern for the City of the Capital.
Like, you know, Love Inc. is an organization that their goal is to bridge the gap between churches with the community. So what it tries to do is get all the information that's offered in the community and bring it to the people that need it, basically. And not only that, to be a central hub for the church itself. Because, you know, you have so many different denominations and so many people doing this and doing that they don't come together just by speaking with each other. So Love Inc. is like a central hub where all those different churches can bring their resources, bring their information, and share it that way. A way to connect them without them actually having to come together, I guess. So, and we offer a lot of programs, crisis counseling. I know that's for women right now. I don't think that we offer it for men. The crisis counseling. We have the Love Seat, which offers clothes for people when they need jobs, and for women when they need jobs, so they can come in and get shirts, pants, and shoes to go on the interview with. Also have the Furniture Bank for people who might have lost their furniture in a fire, or might just not be able to afford new things because they're on a limited budget or limited income. So we have the Furniture Bank. We have Living Large, which is a program all by itself that has like a lot of different facets because it teaches money management classes, spiritual encouragement, family strength building. So Living Large is a very big program. And then we got Caring People, which is a group for single mothers to come together and they can bring their children to the Caring People's groups. And they discuss, you know, different topics. I think they do have a curriculum, but they can also bring their kids. So a lot of times women don't come out with stuff if they don't have child care. They actually have child care with caring people.
Have housing? Y'all have like housing?
No. What we do, a lot of what we do, we have acts like, say for instance, if a person came to Columbia and they was new, and they didn't know how to get in touch with any resources. What Love Inc. does is they're a hub, which means that we got housing authority information, we got information on WIC, we got information on, you know, after school activities, we got information on getting clothes for a job interview, we got information on where to, basically it's a where to go. It's a place to come to know, to get to know where everything else is at. So that's kind of what
very resourceful. Very resourceful.
Okay. I got to do an interview for you guys. So cool.
And you?
We Love Inc. I'm a volunteer.
Okay.
We Love Inc. I'm there.
My name's Jane Williams. I'm one of the founders of Love Inc. Love in the Name of Christ. been around almost 4 years here in Columbia. We created Clearinghouse to coordinate efforts of churches and local volunteers to try to help people in need, identify gaps in services, and form ministries to meet those needs. Have a furniture bank, life skills program, budget counseling. We try to get relationally involved with people and help volunteers find ways to get relationally involved. We think making friends and partners is the best way to try to help us all move forward in life, and so that's what we're up to. We're glad to have all the help. 256-7662.
To smear God's love on the kids, give them a chance to just be around people who love God and show them what their relationships need. We are open from 4 to 6 every day, Monday through Friday, and we also have small groups throughout the week to really focus on the kids and give them a chance to meet them where they are and show them God's love.
So this is part of the book, is it?
This is our parent handbook, and basically just explains what Granny House is to the parents. They read through it and they return the last form to us to enroll their kids. Kids are typically from kindergarten to age 13. Kids who are in the program before 13 can continue on until you fill out that with our girls group, which is for girls 8th grade and up. Really follow the girls, experience God in life situations, and it really gives them a chance to get into more of those more advanced issues. Talk about the things that they're going through as teenagers, but then to also show how God intervenes in those situations.
Sounds like a positive organization. I know David really likes it. He talks about it every day. Would you like to give your name, or you want to say your name or anything?
My name is Kim.
Your name is Kim? And you represent
I'm a volunteer here at House.
like to say anything?
Hi, I'm Erin. I work for the Columbia Housing Authority, just out here showing my support for other community organizations.
Thank you.
Okay, Missouri Alliance. My name is Jaya Williams. And what we do is we offer case management to children who are in the state's custody. We offer case management. Our case managers are in the home weekly, visiting with the clients, visiting with the kids, knowing what's going on. And then we also offer foster parenting. We license our own foster homes and can provide in-home foster parenting. To bring the kids out of residential centers and bring them into a family environment and get them back in the community. So those are the services that we offer. We're located, our main office is in Jefferson City, Missouri, but we have an office here in Columbia, Sedalia, St. Louis, and Springfield areas.
Would you like to say your name?
My name again is Jaya Williams.
We're healthcare. We offer services in adolescent as well as adult. We provide the community with suicide prevention, anything as far as community support, psychiatric rehabilitation. We have all the services here, and we're just trying to be a part of this great movement.
Thank you. So, can I get a picture of one of those flyers?
A snapshot of this.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, this is Bishop Lester Woods, pastor of Urban Empowerment Ministries. I want to say thank you guys for coming out and supporting. Today has been an awesome day. We kicked off today with hundreds of people with the Silence the Violence March. We had an awesome march. Community leaders, the mayor, pastors, chief of police has been here, superintendent of public schools has been here. It's been an awesome march. Here's what it was for. Number one, it was to bring about some awareness of violence issues in our community. Here in Columbia, we got a lot going on, but we got some great kids. We want to make sure we support them, and the community's got to come together to do that. So number one, awareness. Number two is unity. We cannot do anything without some unity in the community. So we're bringing people together with awareness, but we're also bringing together some unity in the community so that we can really, really pool our resources together and attack this issue on all four fronts. So thank you for being here. God bless you. We'll see you next time.
For His Glory is an organization that offers different programs for the youth, such as mentoring, tutoring, and dance.
And one of the programs that For His Glory offers is Grade A, and Grade A is basically a college program where we tutor and mentor Columbia area students they're matched up based off their interests and what careers they possibly like to do. We do different type of activities, like trust activities and leadership building activities. We do community service with the kids, self-esteem things. We try to expose them to different events that go on, on college campuses. We've taken them to poetry nights and plays, just to kind of expose them to the culture that we have been to.
That's nice.
Y'all want to talk about the dance ministry? Yes, you do. What are y'all doing? What you doing in the dance ministry? Oh, we dance.
What kind of dance?
You want to say your name?
Shakira. In the fourth grade dance industry, we do a lot of dancing, like jazz, any type of dancing or and we practice at the Blind Group Center every Wednesday at 7. And we do Bible study too.
Do you have like a card or some information?
We have a couple of flyers here.
Would you like to say something?
I'm sorry. I have to say.
Would you like to say something?
I do
Oh,
have
hold on.
something. She has some.
Could you hold this up for me though? Hold this so I can get
I don't know
that
if you touched on like unmasked expressions.
That's the only thing we haven't.
Unmasked expressions is something new we're trying this summer. It's an all-girls like mentoring program, just giving girls a space to express themselves with no judgment or any like bias, or just like being around each other, building girlhood, sisterhood, and just giving them a voice of their own. Because like a lot of times girls are silent because we are female. We're not supposed to speak out and speak on our movement. So just giving them a space where they can speak, learn, educate each other, educate themselves.
Would you like to give your name?
Oh, I'm Ravi.
You are one of the...
I'm one of the coordinators for the grade A in the Unmasked Expressions program.
Thank you. Would you like to say something?
You want to talk about the boys ministry?
Oh, we don't.
We also have one last program. It's Boys Mentoring. It takes place once a month. It's to guide a young boy into becoming a man. But
Is this what this is back here?
and but not only to become a man, but also a man of God.
And they actually have a meeting tonight at 4 at Second Baptist. That's there.
Like to say something?
Ministry.
Kind of touched on everything.
If you want to, if you want to leave your information here.
Yeah, you want me to leave mine?
If you want to, if you know anybody that has kids that
And
want
you
to.
said y'all affiliated with a church?
No, it's not. We're not affiliated with the church, but we do run the program through the church. For His Glory Ministries, it's just its own ministry. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Second Baptist has allowed us to be in their church, and we're really thankful for it.
So for all of our programs, we are recruiting and accepting applications.
Thank you.
Okay, so I made these shirts, and I'm all about the silence violence movement, and it says no more violence, enough is enough.
What's your name?
My name's Deasia.
You put that idea together?
Yeah.
That's positive.
And the back of the shirt says, we are done with the violence. Columbia needs to change. The world needs to change. Enough is enough. We can all make a difference. Grab your friends and grab your family too. Help us grab the community and to be the change we want to see. And that's
That's neat.
my idea on how to silence the violence.
That's neat. Thank you.
You can get them they're in all of the junior high schools and high schools.
All right, so now tell them to stop the violence, bro. We need to keep everybody around here safe. Bring it back to old school.
That's what's
Anything positive going on down at the gym or anything during the week that
we got open gym, man, during the week.
When does Fun City kick off?
Fun City kick off in the middle of June. Middle of June.
Okay. And what's the age limits on that?
I believe it's from 6 to 14.
6 to 14, and the kids usually stay there until what time?
Until it starts at 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon.
We talk to you? Do they talk?
No, I can't think of who's running this year.
What you do? What's your?
I'm a homeschool communicator at Douglas High School, so I'm over the high school. I work at the high school.
And what's your name?
Scott Williams.
Scott Williams. How are you, Scooter?
Come see me, man. All right.
Thank you, Scooter.
Right.
Yeah, how you doing? You may not know this, but I'm an Israelite, son of God. And I just want you to know that you're an Israelite. If you got earnest brown skin and woolly hair. And that's it.
You on? You on?
I really hated him.
All right.
But don't get stage fright.
I'm Trent.
Boxing is legal
Mighty Man.
violence.
Maya. Kaya.
We got the golden fist here.
We're here to silence the violence. And increase the peace. I'm out of here. 2012. Dig it.